All right, morning. So this is Rachel Wilson, and she's talking about women. She's talking to women and um, how women prioritize their education and jobs before family, and she's going to explain how wrong they are. Let's go.
So, my personal advice, if you want to stay home with your kids, if you're young and you're contemplating career versus being a mom, or like, how do I balance those? I think we give women backwards advice. We tell them to go to college, get into a bunch of debt, start a career, build a career,
Mhm.
and then after all of that, then you can think about getting married and having kids. Well, there's a bunch of problems with that. One is that you're going to end up having your kids much older. Another problem is you've got now that you've got this college debt, you want to pay it off. So the thought of quitting your job sounds
Right.
scary
Because
because you've got student loan debt to pay,
right.
right? So, but this is what's happened, and the effects of that are that we've had a huge drop in the birth rate since 1958, 1960, when women started entering the workforce. The average woman had 3.58 children in 1958. By 2019, that number has gone down to 1.3. So
Wow.
it's
So
got
it's
chopped in
one.
half.
So 1.3, and you said it was 3 point what?
3.58. So over the last 50 years, the global fertility rate has been chopped in half.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a result of women having kids much older.
Mhm.
So my personal advice, if you
Yeah, she makes some really good points. I've always said that women need to have children at an earlier age, just simply because as a woman, you're way fitter when you're younger, right? Your eggs are way healthier when you're younger. And I mean, they're at their healthiest, I believe they say from the ages of 18 to 23 to 25, somewhere in there, right? So say a woman has a baby at the age of, say, I don't know, 22, for instance, right? And so she says, you know what, she just wants two children and she's done with it. So she has a first child at 22. She waits 2 years. She has another child at 24. Bruh, by the time she's 36, those kids are grown, man. Like, she can still live a life. Like, she snapped back just like that. Her body goes back to form just like that. And this is before she starts like really working and incurring all this debt, right? So I don't know, like this college thing, man. It's a doozy, right? Because it's almost gotten to the point where I'm starting to believe that, you know what, college is just a trap. It really just is a trap, especially for women, because at the end of the day, most women are not going to get STEM degrees, right? They're going to get degrees in humanities and stuff like that. So you settle with all this debt. So the thought of having a child is just the last thing in your mind because you're just trying to survive. You get me? Like that's at that point you're just surviving, right? So I don't know, man. Like it's a quagmire to be fair. Like most women don't want to be completely dependent on a man. They have to get educated. I get it. So what would my advice to women be? I think I have a solution. The solution would be to do really well in high school and get a scholarship of some sort. Because women are going to go to college. They just want to go to college. They just most women want to go to college. They want that college experience, right? So you know you're gonna fuck off. You know you're not gonna do much. You're just gonna party and you just. So my best advice would be get some kind of scholarship, where at least you're gonna be where it's gonna cover your education. So you go to college for free. So once you guys go to college for free, then once you graduate, then maybe you can think about having children right away, right? Because you're not saddled with that, right? The only thing you have to worry about now is just raising your children and getting married first, and then let your husband take care of the bills, and then you focus on raising the children for say I don't know 5 years, right? But at least you have your college degree. You have your college degree or whatnot, right? And in the meantime, you can start a small business, whatever it is, an online business. You can do a bunch of things, right? Then when the children are 5, they've gotten to know you. They're strong enough to go to, let's say, to start school. Then you start working. So I'd say for the first 5 years of your life. So if you started having kids at say 20, by the time you're 25, right? Kids are grown enough to start going to school. They have to start going to school, right? So then you get a job. But it seems like women now are doing everything backwards. Number one, they're getting kids out of wedlock, so you're already messing up. So you have to depend on the child. I mean, you have to depend on the government to help you, right? And then you saddle yourself all this student debt with a degree that's useless and worthless that you're not going to use, right? So, yeah, I think she makes some really excellent points, right? What do you guys think? Do you think women should hold off until about, say, 25, 26? Let me know. Give me your likes and give me your comments. I respond to all the comments, by the way. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the share and notification bell if this was informative and educational. We talk about divorce matters. Why? Because divorce actually matters today. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.